Meanwhile, Labour's call for National to put up or shut up over claims a homeless man snuck into an Auckland isolation hotel has been met with radio silence. Housing Minister Megan Woods sent National's Michael Woodhouse a letter telling him to prove his story, which he went public with last week in a bid to illustrate poor border management. Woodhouse has yet to prove the homeless man exists, but says just because there's no evidence of the hotel stay story, it doesn't mean it didn't happen. Nita Blake-Persen filed this report, which began last Thursday morning.
Oh, look, there's just another one. It was a more flippant one that I became aware of. The source was reliable yesterday, but actually one of the five-star hotels housed a homeless person for a couple of weeks under the pretence that it was somebody that came back from overseas. When the person was ready for discharge, he was asked for a forwarding address, only to tell the official that he didn't have one because he was homeless. He hadn't come back from overseas. He just joined the back of the queue 2 weeks ago and spent a fortnight getting 3 square meals and a bath every day on the government.
It was a story so many wanted to be true. Speaking on the AM show last Thursday, National's Michael Woodhouse couldn't say who the man was, but he was adamant his 2-week luxury stay at the Crowne Plaza happened.
This was an anecdote, a very reliable anecdote from a health professional in Auckland, and I don't have it verified, but I just say to you that there's a tip of an iceberg of a number of stories which just underscores what a shambles this is.
The man became a folk legend. The story was picked up by dozens of news outlets here and overseas. Journalists went into overdrive trying to track him down, but requests to Woodhouse for more details proved fruitless. Director General of Health Dr Ashley Bloomfield, who had also faced pressure to explain the saga, yesterday sought to clarify.
Question that has been outstanding for the last few updates, a homeless person who apparently spent some time in managed isolation in Auckland. As far as we can tell, this is cannot be verified and may well be an urban myth. I'm sorry to disappoint you there.
The Ministry of Health weren't the only ones who wanted to clear things up. Housing Minister Megan Woods sent a letter to Woodhouse's office demanding an explanation. The letter states that upon hearing the claim, she asked officials to urgently investigate. They interviewed staff, reviewed the records of all 1,706 people who'd been through the facility, checked CCTV footage and found nothing to back up the tale. But Woodhouse isn't budging.
The absence of any evidence that it did occur is not evidence that it didn't. And in any event, if they have gone to such lengths to verify the story, they certainly acknowledge by those actions that it could have happened.
But do you have proof that it did?
I have a very reliable source who has told me what they believe to be correct, and I have communicated that. I stand by the comments that I've made.
Are they someone who's staying at the Crowne Plaza?
I'm not going to reveal the source except to say that it's reliable and well informed.
And he's got the backing of his boss. Here's Todd Muller on Morning Report today.
Well, he spoke to me at the time and said his source was incredibly reliable and professional, and I back him.
So Michael Woodhouse doesn't need to provide any actual proof, which he doesn't have?
He has a source that he spoke to about this. He's very comfortable with the veracity of it, and that's where it ends from my perspective.
But upon closer inspection, there appear to be multiple issues with Woodhouse's claims, not least the check-in process at the Crowne Plaza. These quarantine guests say wandering in off the street would have been tricky.
We were basically escorted from the bus with our bags by either a member of the police or people in military uniform. So it was really quite strict. And even when we got there, we had to show ID. We had to check in like you would a normal hotel, and I think I even had to give my credit card in case you bought alcohol or something like that as well.
The area where the bus dropped us off was fenced off, so that it would have been pretty unlikely for anyone else to be able to come in. After we came in, we had to fill out some forms about health issues and any other requirements for the government people and the health people. And then we had to go and register with the hotel after that, where they asked for credit cards as well.
And local social services say the majority of Auckland Central's rough sleepers are still in the accommodation that was organised for them during lockdown. Today, Checkpoint made multiple attempts to clarify the situation with the National Party. Todd Muller and Michael Woodhouse refused to front for an interview, say whether the story was true or provide any evidence. Via text, Michael Woodhouse said News Talk ZB political editor Barry Soper could verify his claim. Barry Soper today said he believed the story was true.
I'm not sure whether we do have the same source, but certainly I had talked to Michael Woodhouse about it to try and establish the veracity of the claim that was made, because it seemed extraordinary to me. I know they've been lax at these hotels, but this lax I thought was probably beyond the pale. But the source that I used when I went public with it is a very reliable one.
Meanwhile, Megan Woods says she has yet to receive any information from Mr Woodhouse to back up his claim, which extensive inquiries have found no evidence of. For Checkpoint, Nita Blake-Persen.